Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Talk About It. My name is Annabelle Wiskus. I'll be your host today, and I am so grateful that you are here and you're joining me. If you are brand new to Talk About It, welcome. It is a Postgrad Center podcast that posts every single Wednesday, and I am so happy that you are here and you're joining me today. You guys, I feel like it's only right that I start off this episode by saying Happy Valentine's Day. I'm actually recording this episode on Valentine's Day, so the vibe feels appropriate. I know most of you will be listening to this after Valentine's Day, but nonetheless, happy Valentine's Day. I freaking love you. You rock. You're awesome. I hope today, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, you are loving yourself and you're loving the people around you, because that is what today is for. It's not just about those in couples or those married or whatever the heck. It's for everyone to just spread some love. So I hope that your Valentine's Day was full of that, was full of love, was full of some joy, and you treated yourself to something spectacular. I feel like Minnesota loves us today. It is sunny. It is sunny out, and I literally feel like I'm watching the snow melt in front of me. Like, I'm looking out my window right now, literally looking out my window, and it's puddly, like melty, like everything is melting. And I'm really getting a craving for spring, okay? I'm really getting the craving for spring. I know the minute I say that, we're going to get a snowstorm and we're going to be right back to where we started, but I'm feeling like kind of intrigued by this. I'm kind of feeling lucky, yeah? So I'm happy. I'm content with this weather, and I feel like what better day to spread some love, Minnesota, than Valentine's Day? Okay, thank you for blessing us with this beautiful, fantastic, wonderful weather. I've been embracing it all day, okay? I literally wore sandals today. That's crazy. It's crazy. But I was just feeling kind of crazy. And I don't regret it. Today's topic, I am so excited to talk about. I am so excited to talk about. This one is so near and dear to my heart, and it's really important to me. And I'm just really excited and just blessed to be able to share this topic with you guys. And I don't know, you guys seem to love this kind of conversation that we always have. We've done a series about it. I've done a singular episode about it, and that's just one that you guys gravitate towards. And so I am so excited to talk about this topic today. But first, I have a coffee. I have a coffee with me today. It's melted. Okay, the ice is melted. Womp womp. But coffee's fantastic. My coffee order, I feel like some people have asked. My coffee order is a iced latte with oat milk and honey. It's fantastic. Normally it's a little lighter. I swear coffee color is such a thing. I saw it and I was like, it's not like what I would do for myself, but it's kind of, it'll do. Like, it'll do. I just need coffee. But cheers. Thought I'd switch it up today because I also need the caffeine. I need the caffeine. I swear I've fallen asleep sitting up probably like 5 times today. But yeah, let's dive into this episode, you guys. Let's cheers. I am so excited to talk to you guys, and I just love you. I love you so much. And if you haven't heard that in a couple days, or you haven't felt that in a couple days, just know that I love you and that this episode's for you. And I'm so happy that you're here. So cheers to a fantastic episode. I love you. Let's go. So, you guys, in previous episodes, we have talked obviously about the fact that I am single. If that's your first time hearing this, welcome. I am single. I'm a single gal, and I'm very thankful for it. I'm actually recording this episode the day before my 1 year of being single. Some of you might be listening to that and being like, oh my gosh, this is the kind of girl that'll celebrate a singleness like year. That's crazy. Honestly, pretty stupid. Like, move on already. Like, you're stuck at the restaurant. And that's totally fair. However, if you knew the person that I was during this relationship versus the person that I am now, you will understand why this is such a big deal to me, and why it's not just a petty date to me, or why it's not just a stupid excuse to celebrate me or something that's so natural in life, which is a breakup. That's not at all what it is. This is a reflection of everything that I have learned and everything that I have turned around for myself this past year. It hasn't been an easy one, but I think the one thing that I've been so thankful for within this entire year is the fact that I have been single. And I really just want to take this time in this episode to reflect on this past year, whether that's for people who are right at the beginning of their breakup and that saying of time will heal and within 3 months it'll feel better, 6 months even better. And you're just like, that's too daunting. Like, I want it to feel better now. And I don't know if it'll ever feel better again. Like, I feel like I'll always love this person. Or if you're someone who just needs that reminder of how great singleness can be and that it isn't just a time to pass over, but it's important. And there are so many things that you can learn about yourself when you're by yourself. And so I really just want to take this time to talk to you guys and let's just reflect. Let's just reflect on my 1 year of being single. You guys, that honestly sounds so incredibly crazy. I can't believe that it has been 1 year of being single. 1 year of being single. Like, this past year, I have really devoted so much time to myself. I've devoted time to healing through things, to Christ, to friends, to working on myself, my health, my mental. I've been focusing and drilling in on my job. I started my podcast. I am working to save up money to move to a different state, which is crazy. And I feel like that'd be so much harder to do if I was in a relationship. There's just been so many accomplishments this year. I feel like I could go down the line of like everything that I'm grateful for that I've achieved this past year, right? But I want to take myself back to that day that I became single. I've said this before in episodes, okay? I like to keep my personal life separate from this podcast. So details of my breakup will not be shared. But obviously it was an emotional time, and so I do want to dig deep into how I was feeling and what was going through my mind. A year ago, I was in a relationship that fully consumed me. I was in a relationship that I was so terrified to lose that I put up with a lot of things that I shouldn't have put up with. I put up with a lot of accusations. I put up with a lot of frustrated feelings. I bit my tongue on a lot of things because I didn't want to make issues on a lot of things. I created bad habits for myself that stopped me from communicating with this person because I was so afraid of what could go wrong from that conversation. And I was so attached to this person. They were the first experience of a relationship that I'd ever had, a serious relationship, a long-term relationship. This relationship was like 9 months, which is the longest relationship I've ever been in. And I was so attached to this person that I was willing to make anything work. And I remember a few weeks prior to this, I went on a trip with my girlfriends, and it was the first time that I had fully experienced a possibility that this person and I would break up. And I was distraught. Like, I was fully distraught the entire weekend. I was on the floor, bawling my eyes out. I could barely eat anything. I was just not okay mentally. And I think part of it was mainly because I knew that what I was putting up with was something that I shouldn't put up with. And that I needed to break up with this person. But because this was my first experience in an actual relationship that was very, very, very vulnerable, and this person had such a strong hold on me, I didn't have the guts to do what I needed to do to get out of this relationship. And so for a lot of it, I just put up with everything. And I was, in a way, just waiting for maybe this person to bring something up, for this person to say the words that I was so scared to say. And without even realizing it, I was grieving the relationship before it had ended. But even though I was grieving it, I was grieving it. I was grieving this person as if I would never see them again when I was on this trip. I was totally psychotic. I was totally distraught. I just remember my friends like not really knowing how to be there for me, but them just trying to comfort me in the best way that they can, and just telling me that this is like a pivotal point in my relationship and in my life where this will tell me what I need and what I don't need. And this is the answer that I've been praying for, that I've been looking for. And one thing about my friends is when I was in this relationship, I straight out told them it is so easy to have rose-colored glasses on during this relationship. And so if there's ever a point that I can't seem to figure out if I need to end it and you guys can see it plain as day, tell me. I would rather have the cold, hard truth than friends that are just going to let me do whatever I'm going to do and not hold me accountable to being the happiest version of myself. If I'm so unhappy, but I can't I can't make the decision, or I can't see if I should make the decision. I had basically an agreement with them where if they noticed it, they needed to tell me. And that was actually the weekend that they were like, this is not good for you. This is a pivotal point in your life. What you do now is going to completely change everything, and we're here for you. We love you. I know it doesn't help, but blah 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 blah. I was still distraught. Nonetheless, I was still grieving a relationship before it had even ended. Fast forward 2 weeks, I was still in the mindset of I'll do anything to make it work. I was really, 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 really committed to being a fighter for this relationship. I didn't want to cut the relationship short and just end it because we could. I wanted to fight through things, even though I was so incredibly miserable and I couldn't even see it yet. Now, fast forward to February 15th, 2025, me and this person broke up. It was not a good breakup by any means. It was actually a really, 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 really bad breakup. This person didn't communicate things to me in the way that they should have. And at that point in time, when the breakup was occurring, there was a part of me that completely shifted and realized that I needed to take my life back. And I'm not just saying that as like a statement for you guys, be like, take your life back. This was actually a realization that I had made in the middle of us breaking up, of why have I been letting this person control my life, control me, and have a say over what I do with my life just because I've given this person 9 months of my time. I was completely over allowing them to treat me the way that they were treating me, to talk to me the way that they were treating me, and just allowing them to get in my head the way that they were getting in my head. I was so over it. I was so fed up with it. And I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I needed to take my life back. Of course, I was sad. I think I cried for, probably 5 minutes in the moment, but I was in the middle of something and I had to keep going and I had to keep working and I had to keep moving. So I had to pull myself together. But I remember that I was more ready and more satisfied with how much strength that I had in that moment than I was truly sad that the relationship had ended. Because that moment, I realized how badly I needed it to end. I feel like even though that was one of the weakest moments of my life thus far, in terms of being vulnerable and holding myself up while also being so embarrassed for the things that I'd allowed to happen to me, that I also, in a really weird way, felt the strongest that I had ever felt. I was so proud of myself, and I was so ready to just remove this person from my life. I was so ready to move on. And even though I didn't know what the year would bring for me, I was so ready to find out. I've been so grateful that God has presented me an opportunity to be so vulnerable with myself and to be so content with myself and to just trust myself a little bit more and remain faithful to myself, to the point that even in moments that I've been presented with a relationship, I don't want one. I think one thing that I've really, really learned within this year is that I need to trust God and myself more than my desire to be wanted. My whole identity has changed drastically this entire year because I have been able to fully live the way that I trust myself to live, the way God is intending for me to live, okay? There's been a lot of moments where I've questioned, am I doing things wrong? And am I taking this healing thing too seriously? As silly as it sounds, am I taking this healing thing too seriously? I remember the 3-month mark. I remember the 6-month mark so vividly. And I remember that every month that this person and I's anniversary came up, I would count the months that we had been apart. That when we were 3 months apart, I would be like, I have been 3 months single, 4 months single, 5 months single, 6 months single. And even though it was crazy that I was counting those numbers, it felt like no time had passed. But then at the same time, I was like, holy crap, I've been single for that long? That's crazy. I find it so inspiring how much you can learn about yourself in a year. I find it so crazy how much internally you can grow in a year. I know that sounds so stupid, but the amount that you learn in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and then all the way to a year. It's insane, you guys. Often we just let these months pass and we just count them. We just notice that time's passing. But think about all the things that you can do for yourself, that you can learn to recontrol, and that you can work through within that time. Singleness isn't supposed to be torture. It isn't supposed to be a time out. In fact, this is the most free that you will ever be. And however you want to use that freedom is 1000% up to you. But I think that when you're using your freedom, you need to also be in check with yourself, to not lose yourself all over again in a new way, but instead to find that freedom as you find yourself. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. It was definitely a little bit more vulnerable for me. I definitely shared a lot of information with you guys, and I I've really realized a lot about myself in this time with what I went through. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, but the person that I was with, they're not a horrible person. We learn from experiences, and some people are not meant to be in your life. Okay? And that's how I view that relationship. I wish that person nothing but the best. And I am thankful that I was able to learn what I learned with that relationship. And I hope that that person also learned a lot as well. And I think that, God has a really mysterious way of working. And if it hadn't worked out the way it had, I wouldn't be here today with you guys. And I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Any other way it would have went, I wouldn't be here with you guys. And so I just want you guys to keep your head up during this time. And I know that time can feel like it's going so slow and you're waiting for the moment that it doesn't hurt. Bottom line, you guys, you're always going to have memories with this person. You're always going to have this person in the back of your mind. But when you take your life back and when you trust yourself and you embrace your singleness and you use this time for yourself and you learn the most about yourself that you can learn, that person slowly does start to fade away. But it's only when you take your life back, in my personal experience, give it to God, that you're able to become the person that you always wanted to be. You can't drive down a road that's blocked when you're trying to get to your destination. Oftentimes you have to remove the block. Sometimes that's a person, sometimes it's a job, sometimes that's whatever, sometimes it's just life, and we have blocks in our life. But just know that it does get better. And 1 year ago, I was a completely different person, experiencing a completely different version of my life. And now I'm here today talking with you guys about how strong I feel and how happy I am and grateful for this year and how much I've learned to love myself and how important I find it to love the people around you and love what you've experienced and to soak it all in, to make the most of it, to learn the most from it, to take your power back, to take your life back. I thank you for listening. I hope that this was a great episode for you, and I just love you guys. I love you guys. Aw, I love you guys. Happy, 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 happy Valentine's Day. If you have not heard it enough, I love you guys so much. I will talk to you guys so incredibly soon. Share this with your friends, share this with your family, like, subscribe, comment, message me. I hope to hear from you guys soon. I will talk to you and I'll be seeing ya. Bye.